Introducing a podcast like no other, featuring your hosts, A. Smokey and Alan MX. Set your whole shot device and rev up your engine. It's time for the Gate Drop Podcast.
All right, welcome everybody to the Gate Drop Podcast. Joined here with my awesome co-host, Smokey. Smokey,
what's up,
say
y'all?
what's up.
How you doing, guys? Welcome to the stream. We're going to have a great day today. We're going to talk about some stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about some stuff. So, first thing I want to touch on, man, championships, Supercross, that move that Degan put on Davies, dude, give me your take on that.
The fact that it happened a couple weeks ago and everybody is still stuck on it, that's the funniest part. I mean, to be honest with you, it could have been avoided, of course, but
100% it could have. Davies left the door open.
It really did. I mean, you kind of expected that to happen. So, I don't know. If I was Degan, I would have done the same thing.
Oh, yeah,
I want that win. I thought that got to get the dub, got to get the extra money.
100%.
He's hungry. That's the difference between a lot of people in motocross is that man is hungry. No matter how many times he wins, he's constantly hungry. He's trying to eat. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all, because if you really think about it, the kid's been stuck in his dad's shadow for his entire freaking life.
Right?
Everybody hates on it because he's Brian's kid. Like, yeah, of course, he's doing everything he possibly can to step out of his dad's shadow, and if that means being the second coming of Vince Freezy, so be it. I'm here for it.
Go big. Go big, 100%.
Yeah. Now, I do see both sides of the coin as far as that controversial, quote-unquote, move that he put. Davies left the door open. Exact same thing happened in qualifying practice before the night show. Same turn. Now,
and they ride together. He knows what he's gonna do anyways.
Absolutely. It's not like this is a new thing.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it was planned?
I don't think it was planned. I don't think there was, any crazy team tactics going on there. I don't really see too many team tactics from Star Yamaha outside of the 450s. I think they give their 250 riders a lot of freedom. Like, hey, man, do what you do. Go out there, get a win. That's all we care about. Just go ahead, do your best.
I feel that.
I do believe Davies should have seen that coming. He left the door wide open. And he admitted that in the post-race interview. So really big props for him, especially being like a 17-year-old kid and just being so self-aware and,
be the bigger man about it and be like, yeah, it happened. Absolutely. Racing's racing.
I don't think Degan went in to make that pass as aggressive as he did, because I was looking at the clip and he was trying to really seat himself into that inside rut. And if you really slow it down and zoom in, you can see his front tire below the rut out and move out.
Right out. Yep.
So I do not believe that aggressive of a pass was intentional. I think he was going for your standard block pass, trying to get past him, get the win.
I think he was just, he really wanted that win, which I don't blame him the slightest bit for going for the win. And I don't think it was definitely intentional for him to fly off the track the way he did either. So
no, absolutely not.
He was just meant to run him a little high, which, happens. And, it's Rubbin's racing, obviously. But
yeah, absolutely.
There was barely any contact.
There really wasn't.
I say, if anything, an elbow, bro. That was about it.
Yeah, and I don't even think it was like a malicious elbow. It was more along the lines of keep the bike up, keep my riding position up.
Just keep going through the corner, really.
I won't lie. Usually when I watch the race, I seldom have time to watch it live, so I usually watch it on Peacock like Sunday morning. I did watch that live, and the reaction I had, I literally jumped off of my couch. And
lots of people did, to be honest with you.
I was in a different place because I wanted Degan to get the win. And I knew that even if Degan made a clean pass and won the main, then the championship fight would go to Salt Lake City and it would be this whole big thing, yada, yada, yada. But I was happy to see that Degan clinched the championship that week. I do wish it was under better circumstances, but I'm happy for him. I'm glad he won. I feel for Davies, though, especially with him being like I said, he's a young kid. Both of them, they're still just kids. And
both of them are kids. Yeah, dude, they're so young.
I mean, Davies is 17, Degan's 19?
Yeah, I think he just turned 19 not too long ago.
So, I mean, like I said, I see both sides of it. I understand why Davies was devastated and pissed off. And like that, that's your teammate. He just cleaned your clock, ran you off the track, and he still came back and he got what, 5th?
Yeah, he got 5th.
So that's still, amazing. And even for Davies to get 2 wins, 2 main event wins in his rookie season is almost unheard of.
It's kind of awesome. I mean, besides, Degan coming out and doing it,
Mm-hmm.
like it doesn't happen very often at all.
I mean, if you really think about it, if you go back, Degan didn't win a race his rookie year.
Didn't he win outdoor? Didn't he win some outdoor?
He did win some outdoor. So rookie year as far as Supercross.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right.
He got a podium. He got 1 or 2 podiums, but he didn't get a win. Davies got 2 back to back.
Yeah, Davies. He put in the work though.
He did. He did.
He had Degan to kind of push him. To be honest with you, he was like, "Oh, Degan did it. It's my turn. Let's go. Let's go."
Oh, absolutely. Those two push each other to the limits.
Literally, the limit of the track, right off the track, man.
Yeah. Now, one thing I did see afterwards, after the 250 main, before the 450 main, all those big 450 guys coming over and giving Davies props. That was super cool to see.
Oh yeah, he hyped him up a little bit.
Yeah, and then everybody on Facebook and everything talking shit on Davies, calling him a crybaby. I'm like, dude, the kid's 17. He's
still a kid.
He's a 17-year-old teenager from New Zealand in America racing. Already has a factory ride. Already has 2 wins on the season. Can you blame the kid? You're telling me you didn't cry over stupid crap when you were 17 years old. Really? You're telling me that?
There's 30-year-olds that cry over stupid stuff.
Exactly.
Which is funny. It's just, the fact that people want to give him shit for, being a little bit upset about not catching the dub and his teammate technically taking him out. But I don't know. Rubbin's racing. And if you're not in it for the rubbin, I mean, are you really racing?
Exactly. Yes. So the way I see it, during the week, during the training week, your teammates, support each other, help each other out all the way. As soon as you're on that gate and the gate drops, it's go time.
Yeah, it's not team sport.
No. Once you're on that starting gate, it's just you and you alone, nobody else.
Yep.
I know if I was digging in that situation, I would have done the same thing. 100%.
100%. Yeah, you leave the door open, I'm going to shut that door real quick on you.
Even if that pass was intentional by Degan, you got to think of it from his perspective. He's in championship mode. This is the one championship that has been eluding him his entire career. He's got back-to-back SMX championships. He's got an outdoor championship. The year prior, he was second in the points in Supercross.
Yep, he went for it. I don't blame him.
Why would you take a title fight another week if you don't have to, if you have the chance to wrap it up tonight?
Exactly.
That's just
that exact thing because, the next week he could have, not finished. He could have crashed out.
What if he had bike troubles?
Right. There could have been an issue at any time.
If he blew a top end in the main and all of a sudden he's got a DNF. Guess what? Davies got the championship at that point.
Yep. That would have sucked. Yeah, that I don't blame him for, doing what he did at all.
No.
That was probably a really smart decision. Not so much the taking him out part, but obviously that wasn't intentional, him going off the track.
Yeah, no, that
solidified.
The whole punting him off the track, I don't believe that was intentional at all.
Nah, I don't think so.
Now his post-race interview.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even get to see the whole thing. I only saw a couple snippets of it,
So basically, Jason gets up there, he's talking to him and everything, and Ding just goes up there. He's like, yeah, I know, we went out there and rode, big props to Davies for doing everything he did this season, and I feel for him, but, everybody's just mad that I'm him, and if you don't like it, you can suck it.
Yeah. See, that's what I saw. Besides that, and everybody complains about him being cocky. He fucking earned it.
He's got the right to.
No shit. He's a fucking young kid out there racing with all these veterans that have been racing,
And he's spanking them.
Right.
Oh, that was sweet.
Gotta leave that in the clip.
But he 100% earned it. It's like let's take Tom Brady, for instance, right? Tom Brady's got 7 Super Bowl rings. And yes, he puts himself off as a giant douchebag. He earned the right. Who else has 7 rings? Degan's got what, 4 championships now? He's earned the right to be cocky because he obviously has the skills to back it up.
That's the facts. That is the absolute facts about that statement.
The one thing that irks me, though, is everybody talking shit on Degan for that pass. Did they not watch the 450 main right after that?
That was wild too.
What did Chase Sexton do? Did we hear anything about that? No.
Nope. Because it's the premier class. They're supposed to do that. Come on.
Racing is racing no matter what level you are. If you cannot put up with people going for the win, get off the track.
No shit. You shouldn't be on the track if that's what's going on. If you're worried about that kind of thing, like that, this is not the sport for you. Go play pickleball.
Now, I'm not saying go out there and, be a Vince Freezy right off the bat. No, don't do that. Be a good sportsman about it.
So it should be.
That elevates the sport, but door opens, someone's going to walk through. You may as well be you.
See, that's everybody's out there trying to eat. They got, a lot of the veteran riders that are out there, they've got families now. They've got people to take care of now. So they're like, oh, well, it's not just me anymore. And, everybody be saying stuff about Degan because his daddy's got money is the only reason he's where he's at. No, that little fucker put in the work.
I bet you Degan has more money than his dad does.
He might right now, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. Brian has got money because,
100%.
Trophy trucks, all the other stuff that he does. Plus Haley out there racing.
Deals?
Oh, yeah, he's been making money since, Metal Militia started. He's probably still pulling in money from Freakstyle. Think about that.
100%. 100%.
A game that is, discontinued, but still, he's still pulling in money. Still pulling
Bring
in
it
money.
Back.
Remake, remastered. EA Sports get back in the game.
They remade Freakstyle and then charged $100 for it. I would pay
Everybody would buy it
for it.
Everybody would buy that.
Yeah.
Updated graphics, updated tricks, updated, everything would be nuts. Still go with the same concept, absolutely outrageous tracks and shit, but
just revamp it a little bit.
Yep. Make it 23rd century or whatever century we're freaking in now.
Right. Now, I think if they ever do make a remake, they're not going to. I really, really hope they do, though.
It won't.
Mix Freakstyle with MTX Moto tracks.
Interesting. That would be an interesting mix.
Very interesting, yeah. But imagine Freakstyle, play style, and feel of it, but you make your own tracks.
See, that would be cool as fuck, too. Especially if you can make them outlandish.
Oh, yeah.
Some moon tracks or something like that. Low gravity, jumping craters and insane things like that would be cool.
Oh, 100%. Now, I know you said you've been tied up with work and everything, and you haven't really been able to pay attention to a lot of the rumors going on. But there is a big one going around right now, and that rumor is Tomac.
Him being done?
Him being done with Star, possibly going to KTM.
That would be a wild transition.
I'm not saying it's true, because I don't know. I'm not there.
Right.
The rumor is he's been testing KTM bikes.
Well, I mean, do you blame him for kind of like looking around anyways?
I don't blame him at all. I don't blame any rider for looking around for a better situation for that.
Especially, because every bike rides slightly different anyways,
Yeah, 100%.
But power-wise, they're pretty well matched across the board, give or take some frame styles, etc. But, he's been on Honda, he's been on Cowie, he's been on Yamaha. So no Husky, no KTM, no Zuki.
No.
He's been on half the field.
I wouldn't mind seeing Tomac go to another team as long as we get another season out of it.
Let's see how many years has he been at on Yamaha? It's been a couple of years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 years, something like that.
Yeah. And I think he was on Honda for quite a few years too. And Cowie
He was
on Cowie, I think the shortest. It was only like 2 years he was on that.
Yeah, something like that, 2 or 3 years, but
very short lived.
Yeah, I would still like to see him give us one more season if he's able to, if he can confidently give a good season and he stays healthy.
Yeah, that's the big part. He's starting to get up there when it comes to the age part, and he's still 33. Young. He's the same age as us.
Yeah, but for a professional full-time rider, he's older.
He's definitely up there.
He's older. Definitely. Now, the only way I can see Tomac going to KTM is if for some reason KTM drops either Sexton or AP, which I don't see that happening. If anything, I would see Sexton leaving KTM because obviously, ever since Sexton switched over to them, there's been communication issues, bike setup issues, all that kind of stuff between Sexton and the team. That's the only way I can see Tomac going to KTM.
Thinking about that is kind of, I don't know, I'm open for it. It'd be cool to see him on another ride and go out and try to get one last ride, but these are rumors yet. Is he coming back? Do we really know if he's going to come back?
That's the thing. There's nothing confirmed that he's coming back. There's nothing confirmed that he's retiring. It's all up in the air right now. Obviously, me being a Tomac fan ever since he was on the Geico Honda in the 250 days, I would love to see another season out of him. I would love to.
He could do it.
100%. I still believe he can come back from his broken leg right now and make a run for the championship. 100%.
I think so too.
He's got the speed, he's got the skills, he has the strength, but does he have the confidence?
That's a big one in a lot of these riders that have been doing it for quite a while.
On cases, Aaron Plessinger and Mookie, great riders, great fitness, great
Both got
bike
dubs
control.
this year.
That's another thing. Mookie winning Tampa.
Yeah, that was such a great race. I was losing my mind. I was having a great time during that race. I was literally standing up yelling, "It's great, but let's go, Mookie!"
I was stoked because it's kind of, with Mookie, it's kind of the same situation as Degan. He's been stuck in Big Brother's shadow.
Yes.
And
that poor guy.
I know, I feel for him, and he's an amazing rider. He's, from what I've seen, he seems to be a really, really, really good guy.
Mm-hmm. He definitely takes after Bubba a lot.
Yeah. You can especially see it in the whoop speed, the way he just attacks it.
He ain't scared of them whoops, dude. Every single track, he was typically in the top 5 when it comes to times, the section of the whoops itself.
Take Mookie, change his number to 7, and put him on a Zuki. No difference.
Championship.
No difference.
Championship coming this way. I think he's got to get off the Husky.
I do.
I think the Husky got to go bye-bye.
Smart move for Mookie and Husky in general would be Mookie, get a different ride. Go somewhere are going to work with you and help you do what you need to do.
Right.
And then
I'm not saying that Huskies are, bad or anything, but
I'm not saying that Rockstar Huskies are a bad team. I'm just saying I don't think it's a great fit for Mookie.
Yeah. I think the reason he might have went with them is to kind of get away from the shadow of his brother. But then again, he really looks up to his brother a lot still to this day.
Yeah. 100%.
I know that he didn't even want to go back and keep racing unless his brother was right there with him.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's huge to have that kind of, support from your family members anyways, because that doesn't happen a lot nowadays.
No, it doesn't.
Really don't, especially in an expensive sport and a dangerous sport like this is,
People have died racing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's one of those sports where it's not a matter of if you get hurt, it's a matter of when.
When
and how bad.
If you're not getting hurt while you're riding, are you even riding? I mean, don't get me wrong. I've never broke any bones while I was riding growing up, but I definitely have my fair share of, ass scrapes and leg rips and, tweaked backs and all that stuff.
We all have. Now, unfortunately, I haven't ridden in probably a good 15 years.
Oh.
Because I don't want to. It's just time, money.
Family.
Yeah.
It'd be a huge factor in lives.
As much as I would love to, I don't have, $20,000 to drop on a bike and all the gear and everything.
That a fact. That's most of us working class men,
Mm-hmm.
Go out there, work our ass off for 60 hours a week to make sure our families have what they need to have. And,
Yeah. It's gotten to the point now where after my bills are paid, after I get paid, I don't even want to look at my bank account. But no, it's just going to break my heart.
It's like, man, I just want to ride.
Like, I just got paid.
It's gone. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I got paid literally 2 days ago, and it's like, I just want to get a coffee from the store, man. Let me get that bucks.
That's why I brew my own coffee.
Yeah, right. Trust me, got the Keurig upstairs.
Yep, got the Keurig. I spent $12 on a box of K-Pods, and I'm good.
Good to go for a little while, yeah.
So,
did you see what RJ said after the interview?
I didn't see that.
It's got it in the captions here. I was pulling up, just looking at some stuff, and he literally said, everyone always says they'll do whatever it takes to win a championship. Well, did it.
Push comes to shove. People show their colors.
No shit, man.
But yeah, championship night was a roller coaster, especially that 250 main. Holy hell.
So many big names in such a tight space is insane.
You could tell as soon as VL got past, he gave up.
Yeah.
He gave up.
He knew he wasn't going to catch back the fuck up.
No, he gave up.
He was gassed.
Hampshire. Oh my God, I feel for the dude, but come on.
No joke.
Taking a hammocker and himself out in that turn. Are you serious?
What a turn of events. He didn't expect that to happen, but hey, here we go.
No, and the charge from Hammaker, though, he gave that bike everything it had.
It's such a rough season, too. He's such a great rider, and I feel like if he just, pulled his head out of his ass just a little bit, he'd probably catch it, an entire championship. Like he literally has his speed too. He's
Same thing
quick too.
It's the same situation as Kitchen. Exact same.
And he just keeps falling just a little short, just a little short.
Just a little bit. And, it's not entirely his fault.
No.
A lot of things happen on the racetrack that you can't control. You can only control yourself, how you react, and how you ride.
Exactly. Can't control all outcomes, just yourself.
No. Now you can control how the situation plays out when you're in that situation.
Control how you react, etc. Yeah.
Now, I want to touch on Webb. But even before the gate dropped, do you see his flinch?
No, I missed it.
They're on the gate. Webb is right next to Sexton. A board girl walks off the track. They're waiting for the gate to drop, and Webb flinches. It was intentional.
Trying to get
Chase to jump. Chase didn't take the bait either.
That makes it. He's focused.
Oh,
Typically, he's focused
Yeah.
once he's on that gate. Like, he don't play around. I've seen a lot of the races and him just sitting there on the gate, just sitting there, just breathing. I'm pretty sure he's got music going on in his head and whatever. And, he's typically wearing headphones and whatnot when he's running around the pits, but he's just centered, zen. He might even be meditating. Some of these riders do it. I know it, but like Chase seems the most composed sitting in front of the gate.
He is.
And then the gate drops, and what the hell?
As soon as he throws his leg over that bike, it's all business. Nothing else.
It's crazy.
Solidified the fact when Webb tried to intentionally get him to mistime the gate, zero reaction whatsoever.
He didn't flinch at all, huh?
That dude
I'm going to have to watch that
worst,
clip.
That dude had the worst case of tunnel vision I have ever seen, and it paid off.
No joke. Let's see.
That was unbelievable. I mean, kudos to Webb getting it. He definitely deserved that championship.
For how close those points are, 2 points, 2-point difference. And then besides that, it's almost 100 to third. It's wild.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely wild.
If Webb finished one spot behind where he did, Chase would have won it.
Oh, for sure.
It would have been Chase's.
Yep. It's crazy seeing, just looking at the standings and everything and seeing the amount of people that are in here that have points and the fact that Jet, Hunter, Tomac, Jason, 4 big runners still in the top 20 besides Hunter's in the first or whatever. But like, that is crazy seeing that many people hurt at the end of the year.
I know. And I felt bad because this entire year, I'm like, dude, like half of the field for the fees are injuries.
All 4 of them were back this year would have went so much more different.
Oh yeah, it would have been a lot more exciting instead of, all right, who's going to win this week, Chase or Webb?
Which, I mean, a lot of people really like that, you're not knowing who's going to win each race, just like last year, Jet, nuts, won back to back to back to back. And I think that really hyped him up quite a bit, which is awesome because I'm a huge Jet fan, ever since he first hopped on the bike, like, kind of like a Degan situation. He's hungry.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely hungry for it. The fact that he got hurt, like, it sucks the way that he got hurt because, typically that wouldn't happen. You would just, jam your leg real quick and you keep going. Nope. He tore some stuff, which sucks.
And it
especially coming into it.
It wasn't even anything like super bad or catastrophic either. It just put his leg down and it snapped back in the wrong way in the start.
Yep. Done.
Something
Season's over.
It's like when Tomac, snapped his Achilles. There was no wreck. There was no crash.
It just happened.
Just one of those things, man.
That makes me think of a lot. I see lots of clips of motocross stuff online and whatnot, and guys riding in trails, and randomly you just running through a little bit of brush, and next thing you know, you got a stick sticking out of your freaking toes. Like, this is out of nowhere. What happened?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like Kitchen with that track marker in the outdoors last year.
Yep, exactly. Just, whoa.
Just going in for a turn, and next thing you know,
I
got a track marker in my foot.
Yep. Owie. I can't feel my toes.
Why can't I shift?
Right. It's not working. Look down. Oh.
That would be why.
That's why. That'd be some stuff. That would suck. I'm glad I've never had anything like that happen to me. That would not feel good at all.
No, I couldn't. Even if I had the money and the time to ride, I couldn't ride the way I want to because my body's so broken down.
Nope. Feel that. I do.
I get a few laps and I'm like, dude, my knees are screaming at me. My back hurts.
Ain't that a fact? Especially when you get home and lay in the bed and then wake up the next morning.
But that was me this morning.
Moving? Nope, not doing that.
Dude, this morning I went to bed. I felt fine. I wake up this morning. I'm like, where am I? Why does everything hurt? Why can't I move? I'm 25.
Shit, I thought you were a little bit older. My fault. I'm 32, bro. And I really didn't start feeling it until I turned 30.
I've been screwed up ever since I got out of the military, man.
Yeah, you put your body through hell, though, going through that.
Yeah, I'm 25 and I feel like I have the back and joints of a 70-year-old man.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah, it sucks.
During football in high school, I've been 6 foot tall since I was literally 14 years old. So I've been tall, big, no issues. I was like 215 in high school, and I played on the line for football. So there's all these little dudes always chop blocking, throwing out the knees, man. And I hyperextended my knee too many times. And now that I'm getting older, my knees are crunchy. Sounds like I'm eating a bowl of cereal. Just, It's rough.
Yeah, I tell my wife every time, I'm sick of every time I bend my legs, my knees sound like Rice Krispies.
That literally snap, crackle, pop.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks, man. Where is this at?
All right, so give me your predictions for outdoors, man. It's coming up next week.
Jet's back, right?
What I'm hearing?
Jet. As long as he's coming back and he's actually going to race, Jet. Because he's going to be even more hungry now. Mm-hmm. Way more. He missed the entire Supercross season. He had, what, 2, 3 races? Like 2 or 3 races. That was it. Yeah. And then out for the remainder. And that's a lot of races to miss. It's a lot of sidelines watching everybody else out there ripping. But he's probably absorbing a lot of what they're doing, too. So he's like, you know what? I can see what he can do. He can do. They haven't seen me all year. I'm about to come out and I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to show him how to really ride. Because just like last year, he did so good in the outdoor season. Like, he's going to come back twice as hungry he was last year.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I went to Millville last year, and I was watching, his brother Hunter, because Jet. Excuse me, sorry about that.
Good push.
Oh yeah, it was a great one. Jet wasn't even at Millville. Jet didn't race Millville. I'm pretty sure he was hurt. And watching Hunter, I was on the hill right after the start gate, and I could tell that Hunter was hungry for Jet.
Oh yeah,
to go out there and just rip. Because Jet was hurt for that weekend or whatever. I don't remember why he wasn't there, but he wasn't there that weekend. And Hunter was hungry as fuck.
I don't know if he was hurt. I think he was sick.
Yeah, I know he missed Millville, which I can't remember why, but I probably have to go back and look at it. But yeah, because he was there, but he was not racing. I had such a blast going to Millville. I can't wait till this year so I can go again. That was my first time going to a pro race. So I was super stoked, and I gotta take my kids, and we had an absolute blast. I spent a lot of money, but it's okay. It was worth it.
I'm trying to go to Washoe.
Shug would be dope to go see.
I'm trying to go to shoot. My cousin, my uncle already got their tickets. I'm like, dude, I want to get tickets, but
I want to go to Redbud. I'm trying to go to Redbud with Meshi and them from Zero.
Nice.
Yeah, which, speaking of that, we got some things coming out. So I've been working with Meshi and Zero and all them lately, and we got a lot of things that are coming out soon, and we're definitely going to have to start showing off some goods that are coming out. I can't release anything yet, but I've got some things that are in the works and pretty excited about that.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Gonna see a lot of them in the streams. Let's just say that.
I like the sound of that. I'm thinking of I'm expanding my whole online presence around not only am I doing this with you, and this is going to be a consistent thing, I'm also doing my own stuff on top of it, trying to get possibly some merch going and all of that crazy stuff. So
right,
I'm hoping everything goes well.
It takes time too, especially being full-time working and having family and all that stuff. It takes a while to get going. Like, I didn't expect anything to happen with me when it came to streaming. I was just doing it as a fun hobby, and it kind of took off really quick, and I was kind of like blindsided about it, and kind of got a little overwhelmed because it was so much all at once, and I was not ready for the merch. I was not ready for anything. I still have a merch store. I've had quite a few people buy some things from it, and quite a few people buy hats, and I was doing, I do laser engravings and stuff like that. So, I did it really good for a while, but then it starts to slow, and it kind of takes a toll on you. It's like, oh shit, what am I doing wrong? And sometimes people get in their heads, and, it really messes with you that things aren't always the same. You got to constantly keep changing to, really pique the interest of a lot of people, kind of like podcasts, not a lot of, it was a really slow pickup when it came to podcasts. And then all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, podcasts are everywhere.
Yeah, we can thank Joe Rogan for that one.
Thank you, Joe. I still watch Joe.
I watch Joe on the daily.
Yeah, I'd be listening to his shit while I'm at work or whatever, chilling, doing computer things that I need to do, and just Joe's talking some random shit and then eating shrooms.
Oh yeah, when I'm on the road and I live in northwestern Oregon. I live in Salem, the Valley, and I'm constantly going down to the California border and everything. So I take my phone, hook it up to the stereo in the truck, listen to Joe Rogan talk about what he wants to talk about because I think the dude's hilarious. We just go, and it's crazy to think that Joe's been doing this for over a decade.
Right, time flies.
But yeah, he's been doing it for I think 15 years now.
He's gotta be here. Oh, look.
I think he was the first one to really get big in podcasting.
He was the first one to make it huge.
But yeah. So I remember when I was a kid and I heard someone say something about a podcast. I'm like, what's a podcast?
Because he started in 2009.
16.
Yep. That was his first one.
Good God. Hey, dude's killing it, though. He's killing it.
He really is.
Yeah.
But he's such an intelligent guy, too. He knows so much about so many things. It's crazy. The amount of people that he gets into his streams and all of the things that he's doing. He is very knowledgeable about so many different topics.
Not only that, he has a eagerness to learn.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Oh, yeah. I 100% believe that he's got some ADHD squirrel brain stuff going on.
Oh, he's definitely got ADHD, yeah.
And that just fuels his fire.
Let's see here.
It's insane. This coffee needs to wake me up.
Dude, so I went out to brunch with my wife today, and, I got coffee. We went out to Perkins because we were going to go to Applebee's, but Applebee's wasn't open yet. So went to Perkins, got me some coffee, and I had 4 cups of coffee, and then I ate steak because I'm on the carnivore diet, so I can have coffee and I can have half and half because it has no sugar and it's all protein, it's all milk. And then I use a little bit of Splenda because Splenda has no calories, it's no sugar, which that's the whole point of the diet is no carbs, no sugars, no vegetables, etc. It's butter, steak, eggs, cheese, etc. And it hasn't hit me yet. Like, what? How am I not overly excited, overly pumped, overly jumping off the ground because I had so many cups of coffee? Each cup of coffee is, like 200-300 grams of coffee.
No, I screwed up last night. I went to bed early. I didn't wake up until like 9:30 this morning. So
I would love that.
I got too much sleep, so now I'm all screwed up.
Yep. That 5 to 6 hour mark is my sweet spot.
Yeah, that's what I usually get, especially during the work week.
No joke. If I get too much sleep, I'm at work and I am not worth a shit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Over the last 4 years, the amount of podcast listeners has grown from about 400 million to 700 million.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of people that listen to, podcasts. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And it's great. It's fantastic. I've never really been one to really post on YouTube or anything. For lack of trying or lack of interest, it's hard for me to try to be engaging and everything when it's just me, when I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm just sitting here and just looking at a camera. That's why, last year I tried the whole podcast thing and I really enjoyed it. Now, obviously, work and time got in the way.
Always does.
And now we're bringing it back with this new show that I feel like is going to be much better.
I think we're gonna find a good consistent schedule that we can continuously do this. I know there's gonna be weekends where we're both gonna be busy, etc. And that's gonna be okay. We'll be able to bring it back and make up if we have to. If we know some things are coming up, we'll record 2 episodes.
Yeah,
whatever we got to do.
Absolutely. That way, we can. If we can't keep a consistent recording schedule, we'll be able to keep a consistent upload schedule.
Yep.
That's the goal.
Absolutely.
I know what screwed me over when I did the first podcast is right out of the gate, I said new episode every week. Every week. Got 4 episodes in, then I couldn't find people to come on. Nobody wants to see just me talking randomly in my freaking bedroom. They want to see a conversation. They want to see different people. So I was thinking new episode every 2 weeks.
It's fair. Every 2 weeks. So we
just
give time to edit and all the other things that we need
absolutely. You know, give it some time so it looks good, it sounds good. We're not trying to keep up with a crazy schedule and screw ourselves over when life gets in the way and everything like that.
Facts. Because we both got kiddos, we both got wives, we know how shit goes.
And then sometimes, especially on days where I'm coming back home from being out of town for 2, 3, 4 days, I don't want to do a damn thing.
Yeah, sit, chill, and enjoy nothing.
I want to come home, I want to take a shower, I want to eat, and I want to chill out.
100% understand that one.
I don't want to get up and record an episode, much less do the dishes or vacuum the living room or pick up after the kids. I do all that. I do it because I know my wife has so much on her plate. And most times, she takes care of the kids 24/7 by herself sometimes when I'm on the road.
Yep.
So as much as I don't want to do it, I help her out as much as I possibly can because she needs a break.
Yep. I agree.
She needs some time to relax because she didn't get that.
I so agree with that statement. Me and my wife, we both work too. So, and then we have 3 children between the two of us. And they're all ours. Nobody extra, but I got a 10-year-old, got an 8-year-old, and then we have a 2-year-old who is almost 3. And, my 2 oldest, my 2 boys, they're growing up really freaking fast. And I'm no longer daddy. I am dad.
Yeah,
Daddy's is gone. Yep.
Yeah, that stage.
That stage has changed, and on top of that, my daughter, she's my little princess. She can have anything and everything. And being a coach for my middle son's baseball team, and then my older son, he's about to start his sports sampler because he doesn't know what sports he wants to do. So he's kind of doing a whole week of a different sport each day. And, and he's almost in 5th grade. And this kid told me yesterday, I got a girlfriend. I said, you're 10 years old. You don't get a girlfriend, buddy. You don't get to have no girlfriends yet. You're 10. What's wrong with you?
I had my first girlfriend until I was 15.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was 13, 14 years old. Like, you can't have no girlfriend. Making me feel old, dude. Like, man, things are changing. But, kids nowadays, they grow up so much faster than we did when we were kids. At least, when it comes to learning stuff, it's scary. It's very, very scary.
Oh yeah, they have social media. They have the entire world in the palm of their hand.
See, I was smart. My kids don't have that stuff yet. Like my son can play Fortnite, and I have it limited. He has an account that I have parental controls on and whatnot. He can only talk with people that I approve, etc. And it's mostly all of his friends from school, but all them friends from school, their parents don't do that. They allow them to have the phones. They allow them to watch all this stuff that's out there. They allow the kids that are 10 years old to have TikTok. And my son does not have TikTok. He will not have TikTok because I know what them algorithms be doing. No, and I don't want him to deal with that.
I'm lucky. My boys are, 3, and I think my youngest turns 2 next month. So they're still live. All they care about is chicken nuggets, bananas, and watching Cars.
Yeah, Cars is great. Cars is great. I love Cars.
But I'm a grown-ass man with kids, and I still sit down and watch Cars and Bluey.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I've been getting down on some Bluey. Bluey's this stuff.
Even when my kids aren't around, I'm like, I wish we had shows like this when I was a kid.
I don't know. I've been thinking that, and, there's quite a few. I think of Bluey as kind of like an Arthur. Growing up.
Yeah.
Like, we had pretty decent shows when we were kids. Yeah. Didn't realize, when we were kids, we were, we thought they were lame or whatever. But, and then looking at a lot of the shows now that a lot of kids have, I think ours was way more mellow. This stuff now, overactive and, making kids super stimulated. It's scary for teachers because they do it in class.
Yeah.
This new day and age, my son, my 8-year-old, okay, we'll take my 8-year-old as an example. He knows more how to use a Chromebook than I did when I was in high school getting the first Apple MacBooks that they brought in.
You got MacBooks in high school?
Yeah, they had, they were literally round shaped and they were green and kind of see-through. Got those in high school.
See, we had Chromebooks in high school, but nowadays, kids get their own Chromebook that they take home.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had Chromebooks. No, it was a cart.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, they had a cart of them.
it was a cart, and you had to reserve the cart like a week in advance.
Yep. You could
And
use
you
them
only
in
got it for the
class.
one day.
Yep. And it had to go back. I remember when they first brought in my school, I went to a really small school. I graduated literally with 32 kids, really small school. And I kind of wish my kids were in that same kind of area, because growing up in the big schools that they go to now, there's less one-on-one time with the teachers, less time to, really focus on certain things. And, having so many kids in the class, you've got kids that are really nice, kids that aren't nice. You got kids that have special needs and kids that don't. And it's hard to put all of that onto the teachers to deal with that. And, me being, I am one of the managers at the bus barn. So I'm the safety guy at my bus barn. So I'm in charge of, it's awful, but I love the job because I'm a big safety guy anyways. I don't want nobody to get hurt. I want everybody to be as safe as possible, especially with kids. Kids is a very big thing. Being a parent myself, I don't want my children to ever get hurt, but there's a lot of things out there that makes me love my children so much more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I thought my kids were bad sometimes. No. Nope, my kids are angels.
See, when I went to high school, my graduating class was like 450 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I sometimes catch myself, especially when my oldest is acting up. I'm like, you know what? This really irritates me. But as long as he doesn't turn into some people I went to high school with, I think we're in a good spot.
Definitely.
We're in a good spot.
My kids are fantastic at school. When they come home, they kind of let loose because, you kind of expect that to happen with kids.
Well, not only do you expect it, you got to let it happen.
You have to.
These kids, they got short attention spans. They have interests. They just sat in a room, going through death by PowerPoint for 6-7 hours. Let them cut loose.
Yep. Staring at a screen. They're always on their Chromebooks, or they got the smart whiteboards now, which they just introduced that when I was a senior.
I remember. No.
Yeah, I was a senior when that came out, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I want that." And now they're in every single room. My history teacher was the only one that had one because he was very tech savvy. So he's like, "I gotta have this in my room." So it was really cool to have those in there. And then now I see him in every single elementary class. Is like, it's crazy how far things have come since being in high school myself. 15 years I've been out of high school, my old ass.
Yeah, no. My oldest son, he's 3. He has his own tablet. Now it's one of those
Amazon ones.
Yeah, well, we got it from Walmart, but it's one of those kids tablets. He can watch YouTube, but it's only YouTube Kids, and he can only watch certain things. We put some Leapfrog educational games on there. He has Facebook Messenger Kids on there, but again, he can only talk to who we approve. And it has helped him because he's a very hyper, very energetic kid. And sometimes, it's all right. Look, if you want to grab your tablet and just sit on the couch with mom and dad and just chill out, go for it, kid.
Just chill with us. Yeah, chill with us. That's okay.
Just chill. And he's not one of those kids where he wants to be on it constantly. He wants to play with his brother. He wants to play with the cats, play with his toys.
That's good.
Which is awesome, except when he takes his Hot Wheels and chucks them at my head.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No,
that don't feel good.
It's not.
These are not going down the toilet
anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've dealt with that. Yep, I'm pretty sure my son put my phone in the toilet when he was 3. Yeah, it's like I needed a new phone anyways. All right.
Yeah, I guess. Guess there's a good enough reason to get the new one now.
No shit.
I love my kids to death.
Same, man.
I really do, but they drive me up a wall.
Absolutely. That's why we got to have the things that we do outside of our kids. We got to learn to, a lot of parents nowadays, they don't separate their individuality from their own children. They feel like they're only a parent now. They're only mom, they're only dad. And that kind of thing really needs to be, set in stone. Like, hey, you still need to be yourself too. It's not a 100% about your kids. Yeah, 80% of the time, yeah, it's always about the kids. But that other 20, you really got to stick to yourself, or else you kind of lose who you are too. It sucks.
My wife and I, we really struggled with that for a long, long time. It was, if I'm not dad, then I'm working. That's why I decided to do this again, because it's a hobby. Helps me be my own person again instead of just Colby from Mettler Toledo or dad. My wife, she does her thing. She's she's getting into photography. I recently got an Oculus.
Heck yeah. I got one of those right there.
Yeah. And my wife uses it now more than I do.
She do workout stuff with it, or she play games?
She plays games.
Hell yeah.
She plays games, but a lot of the games I have are very dynamic anyway. So she likes it, and when I see her using it, and she's just in her own world, it just makes me stop thinking like, I'm so glad that she's having fun by herself right now.
I feel that. It's nice to have hobbies too. Me and my wife, we've been kind of going through some things and whatnot lately because we're trying to get that separation, parents and kids. Bro, we got the same vape. You got a Geek Bar? Yeah. All right, let's go.
Wife and I only use Geek Bars.
Yes, they're fantastic. Hey, this thing's been on 0 for like 7 days. It's still going.
Mine's been on 0 since last night. It helped me quit smoking cigarettes a few years ago.
Oh, so. Yes. I'm so glad. Like, people be talking shit on vapes, and my wife is one. She don't like them or anything like that. She sees all these things that are so bad about vapes and stuff. But you know what? It don't fucking stink. My fingers don't smell no more. I don't have to go outside and go brush my teeth after I come back inside before I kiss you. My hands don't smell like it.
Come in smelling like cigarettes or smelling like raspberry?
Right. Peach. Berries and cream.
Not only that, but I mean, I use nicotine pouches too. I can proudly say I'm completely tobacco free.
Nice.
But I just, everything feels better with my vices now. Mm-hmm. I feel healthier.
Oh yeah.
I'm a lot more active. I'm more aware. Feeling like crap every day. I don't stink.
It's a big difference when you stop smoking. Oh, that tastes good. Real fresh air.
I can.
Right. There's a huge difference. Like, I don't know why people just talk so much shit on the whole, I remember, I was talking to my grandma one time and she was telling me about when she started smoking cigarettes and when, cigarettes first started becoming a medical thing. How it was medicine.
Yeah, doctors were prescribing cigarettes.
Right. Just like alcohol. Like, is it really helping you? And then turns out 20, 30 years later, hey, people are getting cancer from it. And it's like, obviously vapes have only been out for, 10, 15 years now. And I don't think I've seen anybody getting cancer from a vape. I've seen them explode. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I've seen people still have asthma issues because of it, but
I've seen these explode.
I've seen phones explode. I've seen computers blow up. There's all kinds of things that are out there that are dangerous, but we live in that society now that it's a normal.
Yeah. Now then again, vapes haven't, been around long enough to have, concrete, good research on long-term health effects. But at least, it's a lot better than anything tobacco related. A lot better. I'm not saying it's good for you. It's not what I'm saying.
The tar makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you're smoking cigarettes or cigars or whatever, and you're walking around like you got a permanent chronic case of pneumonia.
Yep.
Yeah, no thanks.
Waking up with that smoker's cough, you missed that? I can't do it anymore.
I just smoke another one just to feel better.
Right, it's time for my morning cigarette.
No, I was at one point, and this is while I was deployed, I was smoking a pack to a pack and a half a day.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I was doing that when I was working construction, yeah.
Sometimes too.
Puffing away.
When I met my wife, we got together, she was smoking cigarettes too, and we're like, we need to stop. Yep. We need to stop. We both quit.
Good. Fantastic.
Turkey, we both quit.
It's hard for some people, for sure.
It really is. It was a struggle for me.
I definitely get that random, crave for it because, being at work and seeing everybody else while you're on break and whatnot, I got a cigarette and every once in a while, hey, let me get one of those. I'll taste that again. And then I regret it instantly. As soon as I do, it's like, I'm going to give this back. I'm sorry.
And it's got to the point now where I can't even smell cigarette smoke. It just makes me nauseous.
Yep. Nope. I get that. Unless I'm outside, like I can tolerate a little bit outside because there's the wind and whatnot, but
I got a spider I got to kill.
Oh, get that spider. Get it.
Dead.
Yeah, got that spider.
He's crawling on my wall over here, just crawling around. And I'm like, go away. No, if you're getting closer, you're dead. Yep.
I'm definitely the designated bug killer in my house too. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. See, it's funny because I'm the designated spider killer and I have arachnophobia.
Crazy.
It's not severe. Like house spiders, easy, take care of, no problem. If I can count the hairs in the eyes on that mother, I will I will pull a can of Aquanet and a lighter out of my ass.
Burn.
Redneck flamethrower.
I'm that way when it comes to snakes. See, I don't like snakes.
Love snakes. I love
hate
snakes. I love reptiles.
Reptiles are cool. So don't get me wrong. I'd be liking me some toads. I'd be liking me some bearded dragons. Bearded dragons are the coolest fucking animal ever. Dude.
Oh yeah, we had a bearded dragon not too long ago. Fortunately, he passed away. He contracted a disease.
Oh no.
When he was a baby, and it was one of those, I forget exactly what it's called, but it affects lizards in one of two ways. Either it doesn't affect them at all and they live, a long, happy life, or it kills them by the time they're 3 months old.
That's rough.
Unfortunately, ours passed away from the disease, which was heartbreaking because I have been begging my wife to let me get a bearded dragon for a couple of years, and then she finally said yes. We both.
And then that happens. Damn, that sucked.
Yeah, I want to get more. My goal is to make enough money to buy a plot of land, build a barndominium, and have a reptile room.
Hell yeah. I like that. Barndominiums for real, though.
Oh, yeah. It's buying land and building on the land you bought is so much cheaper than just buying a house now.
Agreed. And it's new.
Mm-hmm.
Huge differences,
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot startup, but, worth it. Totally worth it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In the long run, you're saving thousands of dollars.
Right. I bought my house in 2020. It's been 5 years now. And, with the fluctuation of the home market has changed so much. Value of my house has gone up $40,000 in the 5 years. And so the fuck have my taxes. Shit.
See, my parents, they bought their house when I was in middle school. And by the time I was in 8th grade to when I left for boot camp when I was 19. See, they bought it, I want to say, for like $230,000. And then while I was at boot camp, they got it appraised and it doubled in value.
Isn't that crazy? I looked at the previous owners and the previous prices of this house. Before we bought it, there was 2 owners prior, and this house was built in 85. And the first people that bought it, they bought it for $45,000. I'm like, oh, damn, okay. And then the next guy he bought it for $80K. And then I bought it for $150K. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Things are expensive. I was really lucky to find this house, though. We were on the market for probably about 7-8 months. And this house hadn't even gone on the market yet, and the realtor we were talking to was like, hey, I think you guys would really like this place. Let's go look at it. I'm like, all right, let's go give it a shot. They remodeled the entire house, wiring, framing. They tore out the entire wall in the living room and raised the ceilings to 13-foot ceilings, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Except for spider webs. I can't reach them.
Yeah.
I can't reach them, but get the broom out there. We're good. And I was pretty excited. The basement had carpet when we bought it, but since then, I've remodeled the basement and I put laminate flooring down, and I'm in the process of remodeling the bathroom that's right back here. And, that's a half bath. So it's got the stand-up shower, toilet, sink, whatever. And then upstairs got the full bath. And, they did a lot of shortcuts. I'll be honest. They did a lot of shortcuts. So there's a lot of things that I've had to fix since I got in here. But, getting it at the right time, I feel like we really did.
Yeah, definitely. So,
Ducati. Ducati. The bike looks sick.
It does.
It really does.
It looks clean.
Have we seen anybody who's going to be riding? They've got a factory team, but who's going to ride it?
I don't know. I mean, I know
they only have 450, right?
Yeah, I believe
they don't even have a 250.
I believe they only have the 450 as of right now. Could be wrong. I know their plan is to bring the Ducati team over in 26 to North America. They've already been racing it in Europe with Tony Cairoli, helped develop it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm excited for it. I look forward to it. But the fact that they're trying to bring it to North America next year, we have zero insight onto who's going to be riding it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I'm scrolling through here real quick because I'm on a RacerX page and I'm just looking, and having Cairoli ride the bike. Could you imagine if he came to America and raced Pro Motocross and Pro Supercross? Tom Vial did it.
Yeah, Vial did it. Yeah. There's also a loose rumor. First started in the off season between SMX and Supercross.
Mm-hmm.
Heidemann was thinking about it.
He's fast. He's fast. Really fucking fast. That'd be insane. Yeah. That would change so many things up.
Back in the day when Hurlings came over for a race.
Right?
That was insane.
He's fast too. Got Jeremy Sewer, Matteo Guadagnini. Those are both Ducati team riders. And then, of course, Kai Rulli. Like, I don't know, this bike, it looks so sick. But it looks a lot like a gas. They are very, very similar. You know, the front fender is slightly different, but
I can see why, considering, you know, Ducati, Triumph, and the whole KTM group are all based in Europe, so I can understand that. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Ducati ends up falling under the KTM umbrella. I wouldn't be surprised. It's going to get to the point where with bike manufacturers, it's going to be Europe versus Japan.
Let's see.
Which it pretty much is at that point now.
Well, let's see. It looks like they're going to be coming over with TLD when they come here in 2026. So
yeah, that's why TLD left Gas.
Yep. Which I knew about that, but I wasn't sure if they were going to Ducati, which them going to Ducati could be interesting, you know, kind of help build Ducati anyways, because TLD is already well established. I mean, Ducati's a great motorcycle brand, but seeing it on a dirt bike is quite the change.
Now, it would be really interesting if somehow, some way, Ducati pulled Tomac.
Man, that would be nuts. That'd be
huge
crazy.
Risk on Tomac's part.
Huge
risk jumping on a brand new manufacturer who's unproven in the sport.
That's kind of like the Triumph. When the Triumph came in here and Jeremy Smith riding that and having issues. And who's the other Triumph rider?
When Triumph first came over, they had Swole, they had Sabachi.
Sabachi's not even riding it anymore.
They had Ferry. And Ferry left him, and then they picked up Forkner.
That's right.
Yeah, they picked up Forkner this last offseason.
Crazy. They don't even have Triumph in here for teams and stuff on the RacerX page. They got Ducati in here, Fantic, Fly, Honda, Dismiss, go away. Crazy.
I'm excited to see it, though. I like seeing more manufacturers get into the
sport. Yeah, no, I agree. The more teams to choose from, the more factory riders there's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm a big, Yamaha and Cowie guy. I would love to see Triumph and Ducati bank him as far as manufacturers go.
It would be kind of cool to see that happen, unless they offer out some really big payouts and they really, really work with the riders. I don't know if it's going to happen in the next couple of years even.
Not unless they pick up, somehow some superstar talent from the amateur field and build them up.
Cole Davies.
Yeah, but I do feel that Star is a really good fit for Davies.
Stars are...
Excuse me. Now, I am a little disappointed in Star. Mm-hmm. Because they made such a huge hype on picking up Pierce Brown. And I haven't seen Brown on the bike. No training, no nothing.
Man.
No news. I was super stoked to see Pierce Brown on the Star machine.
There really wasn't a lot of coverage when it came to him.
There really wasn't. And I don't know why. Because Pierce Brown is a great rider.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking fast.
He proved it in the last round of the SMX playoffs. He spanked Degan.
He did. He really did.
Out front in the start, just checked out.
The fact that they had that red flag and they had to do the staggered restart. He had 12 seconds? He had 12 seconds like on him.
Something
That's
like that,
huge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have mixed feelings on the new AMA rules as far as red flag restarts. I got mixed feelings because the way I see it, you get better racing if you just bring everybody back to the start gate. You get better racing.
I understand people getting hurt and whatnot, but I remember growing up, you don't get red flags. No, you get hurt, you just get the hell off the track and everybody else is going to finish. It sucks that so many things have changed in the racing scene that accommodates to people that get hurt. Like, that's literally part of it.
Design.
If you think about it this way, you're a pro football player and you get hurt. Are they going to restart the game? Basketball?
Yeah, no.
Hockey, soccer?
That's why I said I got mixed feelings on it because, I want to see better racing. But at the same time, if you have to restart and you're halfway through the race, having the staggered start, you're not screwing anybody over.
I mean, to a point, right?
Yeah.
If you got a hell of a lead, having to restart with someone in your ass right away, that sucks. That's really sucks.
That's like the same thing with MMA. You're fighting, you have someone who's a great ground fighter, fight's already on the ground, round's over, guess what they do? Restart the fight standing up. I believe between rounds, you should start in the same position at the previous round ended.
Yeah, I can gonna agree with that. So, like, I did a lot of wrestling in high school too, and if you're in those positions when you're starting, like that's the way it goes. You both start in upright positions, but if that timer runs out, you go right back to being where you were last. If you're on top riding, that's where you start. Get that?
Oh
But
yeah,
that staggered restart, man. That we had what three races this year that had to do the staggered restart,
more than that.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was more than that.
It was a lot this year.
I want to say like 4 or 5.
That's kind of wild.
Well, a lot of riders are getting hurt a lot more nowadays, and I think it has a lot to do with track design.
They're more difficult.
If you think back in the day, that the tracks were more technical. They weren't as fast. Sub-minute lap time was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have dudes doing lap times in 40 seconds.
Quick. And the peakiness of the jumps. Oh my God.
Back in the day, it was nuts. Booters. Everything sent you to the moon.
Flying.
Now everything's flat. It's all about speed and acceleration, and that's why people are getting hurt. Because they're going super, super fast, and they have so much less room than they really need to slow down for the corners. People are flying up the tracks. That's why we have catch nets.
Facts. And even those are fucking dangerous.
They're damn near useless.
Yeah, you're going to blow right through the damn thing. That bike hits it. It's going through it. It ain't going to stop shit.
What does the catch net do? Okay, it stops you from flying. Cool. Then either you or the bike lands on one another.
Yep. It's crap.
You go up the track, you hit the catch net, you don't fall down, but guess what? Now your bike's stuck.
Yep. It's like some shit there.
It's
crazy. There's too many safety nets. There's too many safety nets for sports nowadays anyways.
Yeah, we need to go back to, the early 2000s to the mid 2010s. No catch nets. Jumps were a lot peakier. It was a lot more technical. We got better racing. Don't even get me started on the 9 whoop rule. That is dumb.
Dude.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The best racing in the whoop section back in the day.
Whoops are so cool.
It was the equalizer. It was. Guys that aren't super technical riders, but they can skim those whoops and they can attack them. Bubba Stewart, prime example.
Facts. That man was not scared of whoops.
No.
At all.
No. He wasn't a great technical rider, but he was the fastest. And the whoop section is where he caught up, where he got his wins, where he set up his passes. Because he knew nobody could beat him at whoop speed.
That's where Mookie got it. Mm-hmm. He proved it in Tampa, so.
Villapoto.
Poto is great. I love Poto.
Villapoto. Reed.
Carmichael.
Wyndham.
So many great riders.
I'm still mad Wyndham never won a championship.
Dude.
Still mad. Still mad that Justin Brayton only got 1 win in his career. Mm-hmm. In his last year at Daytona.
Yeah.
That was what?
That
was what, 2018?
Mm-hmm. That's been a while. Quite a while.
It feels like 2015 was yesterday. That's insane.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago, man. Like, holy shit. Oldness. Getting old, buddy. Mm-hmm. Getting old.
Like when I bought my wife's SUV, it's a 2016, right? Mm-hmm. Like, 2016, that's only a couple years old. No, it's 9 years old.
Uh-huh. It's like, I didn't think my car was that old. It's actually getting up there. That's technically old after like 3 years. It's crazy.
Yeah. An old car is considered a 2022 right now. Like, are you kidding me? No, an old car is what my first car was. My first vehicle that I bought was an 03. That's an old car.
Yeah. My first car was a Ford Ranger. It was an 89.
See, the first vehicle I had, it was an 03 Nissan Frontier.
Yeah, there you go.
It was a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was Nissan.
Yeah,
but it worked. It got you back and forth to where you needed to go.
For a year.
Yeah.
For a year. I got a year out of it.
That's not bad, though.
Before the engine quit on me. I didn't have, no. She's gone. Best vehicle I have ever owned. 2006 Chevy Silverado 2500.
Nice. I want a truck.
Single cab, long bed.
Mm-hmm.
Had the 6-liter Vortec V8. Mm. It broke down on me once. Luckily, when it broke down, I was able to limp it back to my driveway. I was actually driving down the road, and my belt tensioner snapped because the pulley was plastic, so it exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Snapped the belt, realized, okay, well, I no longer have power steering, so I put my hazards on, and I went no more than 5 miles an hour back to my driveway. And as soon as I pulled into my driveway, the plastic connector between the heater core and the radiator snapped, dumped all my coolant everywhere. So luckily it was a quick fix, though. I got a new pulley that was not plastic. The new one was aluminum. I think I bought that for like $70. New belt for like $10. New connector for like $6. Replace it all. She was a workhorse. She was amazing.
Hell yeah.
Then my second son came along and I had to sell her, and it broke my heart. I literally cried when I sold it.
I understand the pain, man. Been through quite a few vehicles myself. The two that we've got now, I got a 2011 Ford Explorer, and that's mine.
Oh, you got the Exploder.
I do got the Exploder. I've had no issues with that bad boy, though. My parents had one when I was growing up.
You know why they call it the Exploder, right?
Yeah, because the fucking transmissions go out real quick. Why?
Back in the day, around the late 90s, early 2000s, if you're driving an Explorer and you got rear-ended where the gas tank is, your vehicle's catching fire.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the rampant transmission issues.
those are constant. I see. I've been pretty lucky with the one that we've got. All the Fords that I've bought over the years, I've had no issues when it comes to motors, transmissions, etc. You know, tires wear out, control arms go out, and bearings. Besides that, I've had no issues, which is fantastic because there's fucking potholes everywhere in the town that I live in. And my Explorer has been fantastic. I've had it for quite a few years. And who the hell is at my house? Hold on, I got cameras going off here. Maybe it's the neighbor kid. He wants to come play with my kiddos. My kiddos are not here. My kiddos are at grandma's for the weekend. So me and the wife are just chilling. She's taking a nap right now while I'm doing this.
Yeah, my boys are with a family friend for the weekend, so it's been nice.
Oh yeah. Quiet is nice.
Yeah, especially after the week I've had at work. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
That was me yesterday at work. Anything else happens today, I'm probably going to ask for a pink slip. Let me get out of here.
I was about at that point. I was thinking, glad it's not just me. I'm like, you know what? Ain't worth it. Ain't worth it.
Nope. It's a fact.
I do love my job. I got a good team. I get paid well.
I can agree with that one. Yeah. It's nice not driving a bus anymore.
Oh, I bet.
But I almost sometimes wish that I was just driving the bus and not have to worry about all the other crap I got to worry about now. But the pay made a huge difference. I made quadruple what I was making before. And so it's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I can deal with it. I can deal with it.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with the military. Some days I'm thinking like, man, I wish I could just go back. Then I realize, well, I would be paid less, a lot more responsibilities.
Yep.
A lot more BS I got to deal with. So yeah, I'm going to stay where I'm at.
Right?
I'm going to stay here.
Worth it. Yeah. So worth it.
We'll see what happens once the outdoor season starts up next week. I got high hopes. We got a lot of riders coming back.
I wonder if Cole Davies is going to go after Degan.
To see that. A little tit for tat.
Right. It could. It very well could happen.
Especially with Degan being the defending champ.
Yep. He's got a target on his back right now.
He's got a lot more to lose. Davis has nothing to lose.
Yeah, he's going big. He wants to show off like, hey, I'm still in this. I'm not gone yet.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be nice. What it's really going to come down to, though, SMX.
It's true.
Degan's going to go 3P?
He has the potential to do it. I don't see why he couldn't.
I really don't. See it. I'd like to see it.
It'd be insane to see it.
I would also like to see Davies take it.
He very well could. Pierce Brown, if he pulled something off. Could.
Oh, yeah.
Very well could.
Joe Shimoda.
Shimoda's fast as fuck, too, boy. You got to keep that damn pinky not getting broken.
Hey, but he still rode the entire season through it.
He sure did. Not a lot of people would have done that. Honestly, I wonder why he, continued to ride. I wonder if there was some underlining reason why he didn't, take the adequate time to recover correctly. He just let it put a split on his finger and just kept fucking going.
I think it's because he felt like his current position wasn't super solid with the team, mainly because of Chance Hymas.
Yeah.
Hymas has shown that he potentially has more speed than Shimoda does, even though I do believe Shimoda's a better technical rider.
Shimoda's a really good rider.
He is. Now, I think it was more along the lines of him proving not only to himself, but to everybody else, hey, just because I have this thing going, I'm still a top guy. And he proved it.
He did. He definitely
really did.
Shit.
I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I appreciate you swinging by and making time for it with your insane schedule.
Bro, it's rough. It's rough.
It is rough.
We got pretty lucky this weekend not having to do a whole lot with the kids being gone.
Mm-hmm. You and me both.
Gotta take advantage of when you get it.
All right, Smokey, you wanna lead us out?
Hey, everybody, make sure you're tuning in. Where are we all going to be on? YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Apple, anywhere you can listen to a podcast. Make sure you tune in, hit that subscribe button, share, like, follow, all the things that you need to do. You guys know what you do. Make sure to be here for the next one. I appreciate y'all listening. If you made it this far, if you didn't, you better turn it back on next time you get a chance.
Thank you, everybody who watched and listened. We really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, let us know why in the comments. Let us know why so we can improve. All right, guys, I'll do it for this one. Thank you for tuning in to the Gate Drop Podcast. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace out, y'all.